Hello, today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. The left-hand side, the scripture readings at Sunday Mass, and the right-hand side, Christmas season readings. During the liturgy of the Word at Sunday Mass, 4 different selections from the scriptures are proclaimed. They are the first reading, this is usually, but not always, from the Old Testament. Second, responsorial psalm. Many people think this is simply a hymn that is placed after the first reading. Actually, it is another proclamation of Scripture, which, instead of being read to us, is sung upon us. Along the way, the assembly sings a repeated refrain. These sung Scripture selections are usually taken from one of the 150 Psalms. Third, the second reading. There are 27 books in the New Testament, 4 of which are Gospels. The second reading is always from one of the 23 books that are not Gospels, often from the letters written by Paul. 4. Gospel. This is always a reading from the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. These scripture readings at regular Sunday Mass are set up in a 3-year pattern that repeats itself. Thus, there is a cycle A, B, and C. This is the year of cycle C. Philemon 13 through 16. I should have liked to retain Onesimus for myself, so that he might serve me on your behalf in my imprisonment for the gospel. But I did not want to do anything without your consent, so that the good you do might not be forced but voluntary. Perhaps this is why he was away from you for a while, that you might have him back forever. No longer as a slave, but more than a slave, a brother, a beloved, especially to me, but even more so to you as a man and in the Lord. The first sentence tells us what Paul is really hoping for, that Philemon will release Onesimus to work with Paul. Paul is trying hard to use words that will have a deeper meaning for Philemon. He says that perhaps the slave was away from you for a while, so that you could have him back forever as a brother, because Onesimus is now a Christian. That's quite a shift from slave to brother. Baptism has radical effects. Through these waters, we become changed persons. The Spirit comes upon us, and we have an enlivening, expansive breath of God within us, made to look like God, act like God. For Paul, these were more than pious words. The Spirit was the driving force of his life, and he expected the same of other Christians, including Philemon. If Paul were writing a short personal letter to me, as he did to Philemon, what might he say? Spend some quiet time with the Lord. I appreciate you for being here, and I'll catch you tomorrow.